Slingshot engaged.
Yeah. Let's do it. I'll press go over here too. Sarrenna, Adam.
What up?
I'm so glad you guys.
Howdy.
So glad you're here.
Yeah, us too.
It's been a little while in the making.
Yeah, we've talked about it for a while.
Yeah, we got kind of stopped by a pandemic a little bit.
Yeah.
It got kind of weird out there. How'd you guys make it through? Did you do all right?
Yeah.
Still playing out and all that, or no?
Do we what now?
Did you play out at all when you were?
No, no. I mean, I said we did well. It kind of did stop music in our like in its tracks, but I'm trying to think. What did we do during the pandemic? Like, it's just so weird. I don't really remember anything about it. Yeah.
That was eventful.
Kitchen tats?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did a lot of
Lots
kitchen
them.
tats.
You got some new ink? Everywhere.
Yeah, my legs are covered up. I'll take my pants off later, but no, I decided to do most of my stuff on my legs, just where it's a terrifying just plethora of weird things.
Really?
But yeah,
You had some leg tats last time I saw you. It was hot out there. You had some shorts on. I could see a
Yeah.
couple little tats just
yeah,
above
yeah,
the knee.
yeah, oh yeah. I've got I'm trying to think of some of them, but I've done some real offensive ones lately that Serena's telling me I might have to cover up. But
Cover them up.
yeah, I put what was it, Hell Satan on my leg, and we were hanging out today, and a guy was talking to me, an older gentleman, and just a nice guy, probably goes to church every Sunday and whatnot, and just talking to me, and I just have a big Hell Satan across my leg, and Serena's just like,
And a naked Eve.
yeah, it's haloed over the naked Eve as Hell Satan, so it's just a lot.
Yeah, it's about as sacrilegious as it gets.
Yeah,
for
and
East
above that
Tennessee.
was my first tattoo that I did myself, which is an upside down cross. So it's all jacked up. I'm gonna have to
You
cut
need
my right
longer
leg
shorts.
off.
It's just in its own region, though. You've got
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That
Yeah.
part of the house looks like that.
Yeah, the thing is, yeah, exactly. It's just it's like putting a kiss thing on your butt or something. Just like only people that see you intimately might see it. But the thing
Right.
is, I just wear short shorts all the time, so pretty much everybody at Walmart sees me too.
So everybody can see.
yeah, exactly.
Did you get any kitchen tats, Sarrenna?
got a bunch,
Yeah. I did. I have I did the coolest one I have a cow skull,
Yeah.
what am I trying to say?
Yeah.
A steer. Thank
Yeah.
you.
With the horns and everything?
Yeah, and I put a little flower in its hair. It's
Like the one
super
that was on the
cute.
front of the old Real World Road
Yeah,
Rules
yeah,
bus?
Oh,
Exactly, yeah.
yes.
Yeah, like that.
Yes, accurate.
Wait, it's got what? It's got flowers?
I put a little flower on it, on the
wearing a
corner
bow.
of it.
Oh,
It's
cool.
super
Or wear
cute,
a
and
flower.
I'm really proud that I did it myself.
That sounds like a worthy endeavor while everybody's locked in their house for a
I
year.
mean, what else are you doing?
Yeah.
There's not. I mean, I sat on my porch for so many days just with my dog, just drawing pictures, and I was like, this is so weird. What are we doing?
I should do this on my body.
Yeah,
Adam's
exactly.
body.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was just doodling around, oh yeah, this will work. I'll put this on me. It's
Serena,
cool.
we got into doing it with friends and stuff, and Serena is way better than everybody, so she just ended up getting used and abused a lot. So that was we'd have tattoo parties, and it would just be Serena working the whole time.
Everybody else could get
We're all
drunk, and I'm
drinking
trying to
and
be
shit.
sober so I can keep my hands steady. It sucked.
So they don't have some squiggly lines on them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
All of Serena's
Yeah.
friends for the next couple months. It's like, can I come over? She's like, oh, you want to hang out? She's like, yeah. Can you give me tattoos? I was like, fuck you, man.
Darn it. Yeah.
Well,
It's all about you.
we met because of the pandemic, right? Because of the
Yes.
local love box.
That's
thing.
right.
That's when we came over to shoot that at your guys' house.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
That
so
was
cool.
awesome, man. That was,
Yeah.
that was a
cool.
really cool thing to get to do.
I'd heard about you guys for so long, and I'd not seen any of your shows. And before we did the local love box, I did a deep dive on the internet and watched some of your stuff. And listening to you guys was spot on, man. Getting to see you live, it was like that out of body experience you have when you're in the room with an artist, and I don't know, it felt really intimate and great. And I think it came across on camera too, and it sounded good.
Yeah, it did sound good.
And that was right about after the last album came out, not too long.
it was right
ago,
after,
right?
or yeah, and I mean,
The Love We Made Together and Otherwise.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was one of the first things that I mean, it had been out for a while, but really we had kind of right when we came out with that album, I've been in school for 2 years, so we really didn't even hit the ground running that hard when that album came out. So it kind of felt like it was always kind of a sizzle for that thing. Like the first album we came out with, we played it really hard, but then that album came out and we didn't play it that hard because I was in school, and then the pandemic hit as well right after that. So it's just like kind of seemed like I don't know. Hopefully, I love that album, and I loved making it. So, and the songs on it, it's much more thought out than the first album, which I love the first album too, but it's very much like a first album where it's just like a lot of random songs. But that second album is kind of a cohesive piece of work, actually. If we didn't really realize it until we made it too, and I was like, oh shit, this is all like it's almost a themed album in a way.
Definitely.
So
It's really sweet. Like it feels
a married
good.
life album. It's it's very much like it's about almost all they're all about our marriage.
Yeah, like when
it's
we were talking
I've
about.
just been writing songs about my life here.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of
Turns out
songwriters do.
Turns out all I can do.
We
As long as you have a cool life, it's good.
Yeah. No, we have a fun life.
it meant a lot to me to put them in the right order too.
Sarrenna's the one that actually she did the ordering of the whole thing.
It starts out with "The Love" is the name of the first song on it. That sets the stage nicely.
Yeah.
For the rest of the record.
Yeah.
It's a song I wrote for her brother's wedding.
Yeah, and but it ended up like having obviously elements of our marriage in it when he wrote it. You like finished writing it like the day of the wedding, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He wrote it like that week. My brother was getting married, and my sister-in-law walked down the aisle to that, and it was just like, okay, just put that song out there real quick, and it was beautiful. But yeah, so that like definitely the order. It tells a story. I feel like it's very, very revealing. It's like
I agree.
it's a lot, and it's just like this. Oh, this is how our life has been, you know.
You apologize a lot, Adam.
That's my life, man.
What the hell's that all about?
Yeah, I don't know. I apologize a lot.
But that's what makes the album so heartfelt. Is I feel you in there, man.
Yeah,
I feel you in there.
Well, I mean, like even the cover of it is just like the whole thing again. Like I did that with my buddy Brandon Langley, and the original concept, it like I wanted from the get go. I wanted to have Sarrenna like naked on the front. Just I thought that would be cool. It's kind of a weird thing where we grew up, very religious, so it was a very much like this, a very clear break from all that. And then at the same time, it was the whole interpretation of the album was just kind of Sarrenna just being this very beautiful creature, and then me just being this fucked up creature, and like and trying to like get to her. So like the first concept of the album was like watching her is kind of weird, watching her in the shower. And it always seemed to turn out to me just looking like a peeping Tom too, which is kind of funny. But like in the end results, we're kind of the idea is that I've been like basically like in car wrecks and just gotten all fucked up physically and mentally, and me just like wanting to go and see her but I can't kind of thing. So
and that's what the photo. That's the story the photo tells.
Yeah. And so it is in a way like an apology, kind of just like me fucking up for years and just like trying to get the will to knock on the door, but just look like a piece of shit while she looks really beautiful and kind of unscathed, which is not fully true, of course, in anybody's relationship. But I mean, that's just how I interpret things, of course, coming from my perspective.
Well, it's good you can be vulnerable that way.
Yeah. We started going to counseling a couple years back, and I figured out how to talk about things.
That's what it takes sometimes.
Hey, man, it was dude. It is. Counseling is a great thing.
Yeah,
Just got
I think
a new
so
counselor this week, actually.
Good for you or for the crew? For the whole crew.
For the whole crew. No, just for me. I don't have much money. I don't think I could pay for them too. But
you can't be having two counselors.
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly.
Another good thing about that album artwork is you said Brandon Langley did it.
Mm-hmm. You know Brandon?
I don't know him,
Okay.
but I know his work. I've seen his stuff around for a long time. I think he's super talented.
Yeah, he's a badass.
Yeah, and the colors of it, like even when it's the size of a postage stamp in Spotify, I know it's your album. When I'm scrolling by, you can see it. It's great.
So pretty.
It's Miami, huh?
It is kind of Miami Vice looking.
It's like it's very
So I see, Sarrenna, I see like how I didn't realize this until we started talking. I really love that album, and I've listened to it a lot, but I didn't really realize that had you not put those songs in that order, it wouldn't have felt like it didn't have to sound like a story. But the fact they were ordered the way they were, and it starts off a little slow, and then picks up pretty quickly. It's like I think that's as much of making the album as the music is. It's like figuring out the order to tell those stories.
It's the only thing that I really cared about too. Like, I like the recording process was so long and it was fun. Like we had a great time recording with Will Carter, is who did it for us, produced it and stuff.
Oh, cool! Did you go up to Mascot?
Mm-hmm.
Or,
yeah.
Recorded at his house.
He did a great job, like directing, trying to help us get it all orderly. But then we got together. I think. Maybe we weren't listening to it yet, but we were with the band at Eric Griffin's house, and I was like, this is the order. And a couple of them were like, some of the band members were like, I think, what if we did it this way? I was like, no, it has to be like this. And then once we listened to it that way too, it made sense that way, and everybody was like, no, that's good, that's cool, because ending on the grandma's house one was just like, oh man, it makes me so happy. We're very proud of that album.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Yeah, exactly.
The last song is about the first time we
kissed.
But not kiss. Yeah, that was a couple weeks before that, but so it was very much obviously like it is. It brought the love or whatever was almost like a very current thing at the beginning, and then it kind of goes to the beginning of our relationship at the end. So, which is that's pretty brilliant on Sarrenna's part, because I had no clue, and I'm really just as a I won't even say I'm a band leader, but just as the guy that writes the songs. I need everybody to kind of help direct me, like in those kinds of ways. Like I'm just not, I don't see big picture stuff very well. I see like a lot of little pictures, and then my band and Sarrenna have helped me put things into bigger perspectives. So
I think it's funny to hear. I've heard you talk about playing before, and you're like, I'm not that good at guitar. Like, it's just like a tool I use to get my story out there. Mm-hmm. And first off, I disagree. I think your guitar playing's great, but like it leaves a lot of space for Sarrenna to bring a whole lot to the storytelling. The fact that I don't know. You said you were band leader, and I kind of look at it as like both your guys, thing.
Yeah.
And it feels that way to me anyway.
Yeah. I'm just down on myself just generally about everything, but like
thus the new therapist.
yeah, exactly. So, but no, I mean I don't know. Again, I do need help, and so many ways. But I don't know, man. I like playing music. I started picking up the banjo again this week, so I'm trying to figure out. It turns out I do like to play instruments just like kind of good enough to like to get a song out, and I think that is usually the main purpose. Is like when you write on a piano, the song, at least for me, well, I think it's for everybody. Your song's gonna sound way different than if you write it on a guitar or whatever, and so that's what I have mainly used those instruments to try and find a new sound for a new kind of way to write a song for me, or to melodically usually too. It's just completely different. But I wrote one of the songs, I think it's County Fair, I wrote on the banjo, and if you listen to it, everything's on guitar. There's no banjo in the song. But when I wrote that song too, I told Sarrenna this the other day. She never knew this, but I was stoned out of my mind. I think this is 7 years ago or something. I wrote that song, and it didn't make it on the first album. We tried to, and it just didn't work. But I wrote that song just stoned out of my gourd, and I wrote it in like 5 minutes, just fucking the fastest song I've ever written. I've never written a song stoned again, because now I just like get really scared. When you smoke in your 20s, at least when I smoked in my 20s, I was very different, but when I hit like 30, now I like hide in corners and shit. But that's just me. Real. I don't want to project that on anybody. If you're in your 30s out there and you're still smoking that weed and it's working for you really well,
keep it up.
Keep it up. Keep on smoking. But, yeah.
That's a good cut too. That comes in pretty early on the album, I think.
County Fair. That one's really funny. I always feel like I should explain that one, because when I first wrote that song, we played at a place called The Well. Do you remember The Well?
Yeah. Was it next to Fresh Market? No?
Yeah.
Western Plaza?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Or across the street?
From the beer market? No?
Yeah, it's on the same side of the road, though, isn't it?
Yeah, on the same side of the road.
But it's just a little bit down from it, maybe. So either way, it was a really cool place. She brought in, what's her name? Gina. Yeah, she brought in really great bands all the time. We opened for... Oh gosh, what was that?
Whitey
Morgan, which dude is just a fucking monster.
We had some fun.
Honky tonk player, but we got to open for some really great bands, being a new band in Knoxville. This is like 10 years ago, and but I guess it was maybe about 7 years ago that I wrote that song, and a guy walked up to me, walked up to me after we played it, and he said, I like that song, but it's a slut shaming song. I don't know if I get behind that kind of thing, and I was like. And it was really funny though, because I wrote the song in the perspective as it's a dad talking to a dog. I don't have a child or anything. It was really I was kind of making fun or being tongue in cheek about her dad, like hating me, like because we started dating when I was real young, and he's just like, get the hell away from my daughter. And my dad's not rich or anything, so there's parts of the song that don't line up. But I wrote the song just like I ain't gonna let you be a one-time Sue, and I was making up all these my own fucking catchphrases as if I was like
a lady with your legs undone.
Yeah, I can't be a
Yes.
ladies with your legs undone. Now when I
Yeah.
sing it, I always say, right after that, I say that's a fucking lie. I'm just, that's a joke.
Yeah.
But it's really funny because now I feel like I should explain to people like I don't believe in any of this shit. It's just a story that I wrote.
Yeah.
Like it's just a fiction story about a dad that's just like telling it really too, and telling it like saying that I've done all these terrible, or not terrible things. I slept with people, and but I don't want you. I want something better for you. Kind of thing. And so that's the idea of it. But I disagree with the concept completely. But it was fun to like write from that perspective.
It's a shame you've got to apologize for it almost. You know what I mean?
It's weird. Well, I mean, yeah, because
when the guy said it too, like we laughed about it afterwards.
Then it kinda got me in my head a little bit.
Slut shaming? What's that? Like it was before that was talked about very
Yeah.
much. Now I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of not cool, man.
Yeah. So
now we get it.
Yeah, it's kind of but at the same time, I think it's kind of funny though.
Yeah.
I think it's funny to explain to people, but either way, if somebody, and also I just know to stay away from somebody if they like that song too much. If there's
Really?
if there's like, man, I get you, man. I got a daughter. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? No, I was just okay. Never mind, man. Just please leave me alone.
How did you guys land on country music? Because you don't strike me as, cowboy hat wearing, boot wearing,
Somebody said that to me
Nashville
last night. They said at the
Second bell.
Yeah.
They said, man, what happened to you? Because I did start off like wearing cowboy hats and stuff, and I really. But and he's like, what happened, man? He said, you look like an actor just playing yourself now. And I was like, man, fuck you. I was like, which is funny as hell. And he's just like, what, but either way, so he was, I got shit for that. But I don't know. I grew up I wasn't listening to country music when I was young. That's more of a recent thing in the last 10 years for me. But I grew up listening to mainly hip hop and then indie rock in middle school. But I grew up my favorite thing was like 3rd and 4th grade was like Wu-Tang Clan and shit. So that's I started off which my brother's more Wu-Tang. I was more of all the guys in Houston, like all the No Limit Soldiers, and then also I got big into. Turns out I just like a lot of like New Orleans like hip hop and stuff, which is really funny. We were watching.
You Lil Wayne guy?
Yeah, for sure. But like originally, I loved Juvenile was like, which I mean, if Juvenile was the shit, but all the Cash Money guys, But that was like my favorite thing growing up. And then when I started learning guitar when I was 15 years old, my buddy Eric, he taught me a lot of like his favorite thing in the world was Radiohead at the time, and he got me into Radiohead, and then I got into Blur, and I got into Travis, which is a great band out of Scottish?
Scotland, yeah.
But and that's where a lot of my songs now, if you listen to them, Sarrenna's like, dude, you do sound a lot like Travis, which are it's a fantastic band, but it's almost like it's very Coldplay-ish too, and I listened to a ton of Coldplay when I was younger too, and kind of that Brit songwriter stuff. And then I got big into American, North American like songwriters like Dylan and fucking Neil Young was one of my favorites for a long time. So that was kind of my progression. But and then again 10 years ago I got into just old country, 40s, 50s and 60s and 70s, kind of like just that 40 years of country there, from even some of the like early 30s or late 20s kind of stuff with like Jimmy Rogers, and then I just got really into the history, into the evolution of country music, and
before it got poppy.
Before it got poppy, yeah. And I mean, I like some 90s, but like that's something I'm just now like learning about is 90s country. I really started off learning again like just the original dudes, and then those dudes is like people after that, like the George Jones after the Hank Williams, and so like just kind of listening to that progression I loved, and it just turns out it's like for me it's easier to write songs like that. But
your songwriting kind of like started happening when you were in a huge like Bob Dylan dive.
Yeah,
that's like when he started really writing a lot. In our first little apartment, he was.
Bob Dylan can inspire you to write some
Bob
music.
Dylan.
Yeah,
that guy's written thousands of songs.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And,
it's crazy.
And a lot of them are good, but he's written some lyrics that you're just like, oh, surely I can do this.
yeah. Dylan was great. And just him as I really liked character. I like characters a lot too, so I'd follow he was just a shithead and just a funny dude, and just the way he.
Bob Dylan?
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just like it is. But no, I just think like just the character of him, just how he interacted with everybody. Just watching those old interviews of him, just like of a guy just being like, kind of talking to him like he sings like shit, and he's like, I hit the fucking notes, and I hit the notes, and, you know, just like he's just an asshole, but like it, but in the best way possible. So I don't know, I get off on like watching those dudes and be wild.
Well, and
shit.
like circle back around to your question, like I feel like watching Adam starting songwriting, like he was loving Bob Dylan and like Neil Young mainly, and kind of trying to find his genre for a while. We have like this 4-song EP from the very first thing we ever did, and listening to that now, you would be like, that's Adam?
Really?
Because it just doesn't have the settled into sound that, well, our band has a lot to do with that, obviously, too. But even just Adam singing on a guitar by himself, like the way he plays and everything is so different. And I think he kind of did like wiggle around genres, what he was trying to figure out. And then like when he started listening to Merle Haggard and George Jones and Waylon Jennings, that's when it was like, this is where I want to be.
It's when the rubber met the road.
Yeah, it was fun. But then again, like now, like some of the newer stuff I'm writing is nothing like that, and I am taking a departure from the and even on that last album, like The Love, like that's not really a country song. I mean, that's a very indie song. Like
right.
it's not the chordings, if anything's country on it, it's my voice maybe, but that's pretty much it. But then some of the songs are just like straight honky tonk songs on there, and then it goes between that and then songs like The Love and Night We Laid Down and things like that, which are completely, again, like those aren't country songs at all.
Right.
But they're more back into the Dylan or back into the songwriter phase of my life. So I kind of hope that my music career just kind of goes that way, where I just jump from thing to thing in the way of like, I don't want to be just like this guy that just sings
right.
like these country songs.
Yeah. Sturgill's done a good job of mixing it up.
Yeah. Have you heard the new album?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going back to his roots, huh? He's going to the bluegrass.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like very Western. It's only like, I think 27 or 28 minutes long, the whole album.
You're right. It is very Western. Like, I guess he threw like a bluegrass song in there, but a lot of it is like that one with Willie is just a straight up fucking.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. Like,
we might be talking about different records. But
the one that just came out.
Yeah, Dude and Juanita.
Really?
Yeah. He's got a Willie Nelson song on there.
Okay, I didn't know that Willie was on one of them.
He is, right?
I believe so.
That's great.
Juanita is the song.
Yeah.
Is he on? Does he actually sing on it, or does he just play guitar on it?
I haven't listened. I'm not sure.
Man, maybe we're full of shit.
We're
gonna be very honest here.
Well, it's very much like a story, kind of like your guys' album. This one's a little more of like a page turner, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's but that's a good example of, somebody who is not about to get pinned down just because they made a record that sounds a certain way, or because they were wearing a cowboy hat when their first album.
That's exactly what Adam did too.
He went pretty hard, didn't he? Like,
and
like, and he kind of said, "Fuck you" to the labels hard.
Yeah.
It was like, you must write another country album, or I thought it was something like that, like kind of people trying to make him do what makes them money, and he said, "Go to hell," kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of his vibe, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outlaw man.
Well, and that's as soon as people started I always would wear cowboy boots and stuff when we would play shows for the longest time. And Adam would show up like in track pants and a toboggan. I'm like, what are you wearing? He's like, I'm not country. I could do what I want. That's Adam.
Have you heard our music?
Yeah. That's definitely my reaction as a 14-year-old boy.
Well, you guys have known each other forever, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You guys met when you were kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, we met
young.
when we were in church when we were like, Sarrenna might have been 12, and I was like, I'm 2 years older, I guess, right? So, so I was like 14, so I've known her, and I'm 34 now. So, was that 20 years? Is that right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
We've been together for 15 of those years too. So,
you guys friends starting out? That's always a good way to
start.
start.
Yeah, we always like that's a really funny story. Like in the way of we were friends. Like, I mean, we're just like acquaintances at church or whatever. But I had a crush on her, and then like. And she did me, I guess, and we when I was 15 and she was 13. Is that when we did that first like goofy thing when I hit on your best friend? So I was just like, me and Sarrenna were like boyfriend and girlfriend for like a couple weeks. We're just like we're a thing,
Yeah.
Like 15-year-olds do,
Yeah.
Or you're like I said, you're 13. I was going for them young ladies. And I was talking to her for a couple weeks, and AOL really. I loved AOL, like I love Instant Messenger, yeah, because you could really tell your feelings, without having to tell a girl to her face. It was a place for a spineless young boy to say some shit.
It was the beginning of the keyboard warrior.
Exactly.
You didn't tell him your
my screen name was Smooth Little Cracker. and which is the most ridiculous shit of all time.
You were listening to Wu-Tang, weren't you?
Yeah, smooth little cracker. I don't know if I say cracker or cracker too. I don't know how it actually went. I need to find that thing if I can get on there, see some of my old messages. I don't know if you can do that. It's like getting on your old MySpace. It's scary.
So you were doing the dial-up internet?
Yeah, dialing up, talking to girls. But this week it was Sarrenna and I was talking to Sarrenna, but then I was just I was on there
2 days
a couple
later.
days.
I was at my best friend's house,
Yeah, boy.
and we're on AIM or whatever. Smooth little cracker pops up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just really like you a lot." It starts flirting with my friend.
With
And
her
he
best friend,
just said all
Sarrenna
the
sitting
same
there at
stuff
the
to
computer
me.
with her friend.
You hate to see it.
Me and Megan were
So
dying.
not
We're
smooth,
just like,
right?
okay.
So
my
I gotta
screen name.
ask, were you using the shotgun method? Were you just saying the same thing to all these girls? And
Yeah,
Sarrenna
probably.
was the
Yeah,
one that
dude.
landed?
Hey, man, you're 15 years old, dude. You gotta
Cast
do
a wide
You gotta
net.
do the best you can.
God.
I remember using AOL Instant Messenger. I'd text a girl that I'd never talked to at school, and you'd go go make out with her at a basketball game, and then it's just that was just kind of, it's just the way of communication to say things in the way of again just be like, hey, you wanna do whatever. I just didn't. It's not nearly as hard as talking to somebody face to face. You can just throw some shit out there, and then most girls probably just this dumbass, get the fuck out of here.
But so, did you guys go to church together because you lived close to each other?
No, I lived way in
Where'd
South
you live?
Knoxville, and she lived. No, I lived in Seymour, and
Okay.
and Sarrenna
Where'd you
lived
live,
out
Sarrenna?
west. I guess.
Off of,
West
Hardin
Knox?
Valley area.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the middle for us, wasn't it? Because it was in the middle of Knoxville, and then I was coming all the way from the south, and Sarrenna was coming from the west.
So you guys didn't go to school together growing up?
No,
No.
You just
we
met
did
at
end up
church.
going to homeschool together for a couple years, so we did go to school
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
I went to as a freshman. In high school, I went to Sevier County High School. I followed a girl there. I went to Seymour my whole life, and I followed a girl there that just ended up. It's very evident to me that my life has been focused around girls. Now that we're speaking, and I followed
Now
a girl.
I know why you apologize so much.
Yeah, exactly. So I followed a girl there. She didn't even like me too, so it was kind of weird. That was awkward. It's just hey, good to see you first day of school. No, we were best friends, but my dumb ass was thinking that it was my girlfriend. But so followed her there, and then by the end of the school year, I at the last week, me and my buddies thought it would be funny to take all of the drugs that we could find in our house, like just
prescription drugs?
whatever,
Oh.
your mom's fucking,
Yeah.
Whatever, just find some Xanax or whatever, just find whatever you can find. And take them all to school and just take them for our field trip.
Ingest all the drugs you could find?
Yeah, just the worst
Oh,
idea.
that's an awful
worst
idea.
idea. Worst idea you could ever do. Nobody do this. And so we go on a field trip, and it was for technology class, and it was laser tag, which that sounds like fun with a lot of drugs, but we were taking at the time I had an Adderall or whatever it would have been back then, some kind of ADD medicine, and we're just taking, and that's what I had because it was prescribed to me, so I was giving those out to all my buddies. Then a bunch of just ibuprofen and shit, just taking 30 ibuprofen or taking a bunch of chloroquine, just whatever, just whatever.
No
we could-
inflammation while you're playing
Yeah,
laser
exactly.
tag.
Yeah. Just, and all these kids saw us on the bus doing it, and they told on us. And one of my buddies, I remember he had
They
literally.
probably.
Just,
I'm glad they told on you.
No, yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
ended up just foaming at the mouth in the corner of the fucking laser tag place. But before it got too far, we got caught, and they caught all our drugs, and I went to court and had to do community service and blah blah blah, and all summer. And my mom's just like, okay, we're gonna put you in homeschool, and so I went to homeschool, and Sarrenna was already there.
Was it
having a
through the
good time.
church?
Yeah.
It was through the church. It was
Okay.
a co-op, but you basically just have to go on Friday, I think, and do nothing the rest of the week. So that
Studied
was
at home?
just
Or
sit-
not?
Yeah. There's no studying at home.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody I just I jerked off for 3 years and played guitar for 3 years by myself because my parents were working. So
Did you get good at either of them?
yeah, no, I mean you already know what I think about the guitar playing, and the other one's fine.
So then, did you guys get together at home at homeschool or church and stay together
Yeah.
through high school
It
and
was
all
right.
that?
It was right.
Yeah, it
senior
was
year, right, for me.
Yeah, it was his senior year. Yeah, it was the end of
Very end of it.
my junior. Yeah, so
Were you guys making music while you were together then, or no?
Actually,
together?
well, so Adam is I was super shy,
Hmm.
super shy, and we played in church bands
Hmm.
separately though usually, and then, or I'm sorry, I didn't yet. Adam is the one who got me over my stage fright and to come up and sing with him at like summer camp one year or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just like I was terrified, and I still struggle with stage fright sometimes.
Really?
Oh yeah, I don't. It's
You look like you
I love
got it under
singing
control.
harmony because I'm like, everybody look at him, please. But no, but he really like helped me step out of that and not be as fearful and like realize how much I love performing, even if it was scary, you know. So
Yeah.
he actually left. And then I led the youth group band after he left the youth group, like just a couple years apart or whatever. So, but I guess, so when he started homeschooling too, Adam really became quite the behaved gentleman, a very different version of himself.
Like tucking his shirt in when he comes over.
Yeah,
and
reading the
stuff like
Bible a lot.
Really?
I was reading the Bible all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. Killed it.
So like, because I was
Still
like
like to read the
super
Bible
well
once in a
behaved,
while.
chill kid, you know, whatever, quiet, and we had a writing class together, and that's how we kind of like got to become kind of better friends.
Cool.
And then Smooth Little Cracker started showing me Travis, that band we were talking about, and like Keen and Kings of Leon and all
David Gray.
these,
Got
yeah,
David
David
Gray right
Gray. And he'd be like, "Hey, you want to come listen to music in my car on lunch?" And I'd be
yeah.
like, "Yeah, sure."
It was way smoother in my 18-year-old years.
He was a little sweeter than the AIM. The Smooth Little Cracker thing put him on the shelf for many years.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Not that guy.
Yeah.
Not hanging out with that
Yeah.
guy. But the guy that listens to good music in his car, I can hang out with that dude.
Yeah. So we did that for a little bit and kind of got to know each other. And, and that's kind of, it just like evolved from there. Like,
It's funny that it was music that kind of got you guys bonded to begin
Yeah.
with.
yeah, definitely.
So, is it always around though? Like, you guys are in a band together now, and you have been for a long time.
Yeah.
Like-
You're talking about sharing music still?
Well, I just mean like when you're not doing music, can you do you guys? You know what I mean? And not do the, I don't know, leave it all behind a little bit.
Yeah.
Or is it always there?
I don't think.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of like for instance, during the pandemic and stuff, like we didn't sit around and play music much, but we are definitely always listening to music. I'm like furiously always trying to find new music that I love and whatever. Like, so we it's a huge part of our lives for sure. Yeah.
But our relationship is not like. I mean, we're best friends. So I mean, we share all
It's
kinds
not
of.
all we
share,
do.
Good.
Yeah, and we share. We
That's
share.
great.
We love like I don't know. I guess it does all sound like entertainment, but I was about to say we love like watching film together. Like I mean, it's not all based around music at all. And here lately, the last couple of years, I really just started writing music again for the first time in like a year and a half. Like I would write at least a song every couple weeks for years. Like that was my main thing. Like that was what I felt like a piece of shit if I didn't write like two songs a month. Yeah,
Needed to
it
create
got in my
something.
head. Say what now?
Needed to create something.
Yeah, and it was obsessive though. It was very and it got to the point where like it was I hated doing it. Like it got to the point where I was like it was like a
Well, we tried to kind of make it a job. Like we pushed hard with that first album. We played a lot and we just were burning ourselves out. And we weren't like touring. We would go on long weekends here and
Right.
there. But it became a lot, and it did get really hard at points, and we were just like, man, are we just like kind of okay with this being something that we love and play in Knoxville a bit, or do we want to continue to like destroy our bodies eating chicken wings and beer on the road? You know,
Yeah.
it just doesn't make you feel so great sleeping on
Yeah.
people's couches.
Well, how many tours did you guys do, or when was the first one?
I mean, we
maybe
didn't
like 10 or something, and they were like 4-day things.
Just little
I mean, we never
weekends.
did
wasn't
like we
consistent.
never got
when was it?
2018 maybe, I don't know, 3 years ago.
It had to be before that.
before
because,
that. It
Oh,
had
okay.
to be, yeah.
So
Because
17,
It's
guess? I don't know.
2021.
Oh fuck, I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Because I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, our new album's been out like 2 years.
Yeah.
So
It feels like people started to catch on to you guys pretty quick. It didn't take long for people to start knowing who you were, and
Yeah.
you know, you were playing out. I saw your name all over the place. I remember, I think it was Travis Bigwood was playing in your band, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys remember that Purple House in Park Ridge? Did you ever go over there and play? No,
No, I think so.
you didn't.
no.
They were practicing over there one night. It was while he was in your band, and I had been hearing about you guys forever. And then that's when it hit, and I started noticing that you guys were out there. Actually, I think at the time you're touring. So
Yeah.
it's
Knoxville's Knoxville's a good music community. Like we we made friends with everybody at WTK, WDVX, and it's like they're just good people, and they're all help each other, you know, once you get in there. So it was like we had a lot of opportunity to play all over the place. It was awesome once we started playing a lot, but probably more of the toll of just like drinking a ton at these out of town shows. We were just like, maybe we just want to play music for fun. Imagine that, you know? So we kind of chilled out, but like, I don't know, I think we found like a happy spot. Also, he kind of stopped songwriting because of being in school. So it just like, he just didn't have time.
That's what's that about? Like computers and stuff, right?
Yeah. I know. All over the place. That was, so I've been going to school for almost like for a 2-year degree for like 2.5 years at this point. So, you know, how it goes, how it be. But I, you know, again, I preface that saying I've done a lot more classes than a person typically would to get a degree like in what I'm doing, because I came in there and did the AccuPlacer test because I hadn't been to school and 14 years at the time when I started, and so I knew nothing of math or anything really, and did an AccuPlacer test, which is just if your SATs or ACTs are like out of date, like you just have to do this to kind of see where you're at. Yeah. And I just it was all, I remember it was all polynomials, which I had no fucking clue. Like, and even in high school,
I don't even know what that is. I don't remember that.
Yeah. That's I can't. I'm afraid to say it now, but it's essentially, I guess it's like a math problem with maybe 3 different variables, and you might have like 9b like what's an easy one, like I don't know. Either way, it's a stupid math problem that if you've not taken any pre-calculus at all, like you're not gonna fucking understand any of this.
Yeah, especially if you hadn't been in school for 14
exactly.
years.
And even when I was in school, again, I was jerking off playing guitar, so I don't like and they had none of that on the questionnaires
on the test.
Yeah. So. How many licks does it take to get to the center of the, whatever. But so either way, I'm on there doing this AccuPlacer, and I do terrible on math completely. So I go to Pellissippi, the community college here, and I have to start from the very, very bottom rung in math, like pre-algebra. Like I didn't know how to divide barely, So right. And so I didn't know the process of it, and it's all very easy stuff. But if you just don't do that shit ever, you're not going to know. But so I got in there and I started off like at the lowest class, and within 3 semesters, like a year and a half, I guess, I went from like low algebra to calculus 2, and now I'm in physics-based calculus. And so I went from not knowing anything at all to doing that. So like I really basically got a high school career and a college career going
in like 2 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. If you can, I feel like I'd be a lot better at school now.
Oh, you would? Yeah. I would have dropped out. I mean, I didn't even go, but like I would have dropped out instantly if I went at like 20 years old. Like it would have been just a total shit show. So,
well, what's the job? Like, what are you trying
I'm studying for
skill.
It's computer science. So,
cool.
So at first I wanted to code, and then I just realized coding's hard as hell. And it's, I don't know. It's one of those things where it does seem like somebody getting into it in their early 20s would do better. But me,
it's also an introverted endeavor.
It is, and it's not very much like me at all. Like, and I still might use the degree, but just in a different way. I'm sweating so much right now that I'm embarrassed.
Don't be. It's a little hot in here. Sorry about that.
Hey, I'm fine with it.
The fan's loud.
Thinking about it, and sweat's rolling down my head. So
yeah,
I'm a very hot-blooded person. Turns out my metabolism's running like a motherfucker.
Well, you look like you've been working out or something. You're bigger than you were last time I saw you.
Yeah.
Last time I saw you were talking about water fasts.
Yeah. Now I'm on milk fasts. Just tons of milk. But
it's working.
Hey, yeah, it'll thicken you up.
So like you
said, whole milk.
You said I might still use the degree, but you didn't really explain yourself. Like, so Adam has bought a food trailer.
Yeah.
So that's now like the dream. And
what's it called?
It's called the Big Bad Taco Truck.
Nice.
So like the Big Bad Wolf.
That's what this is, right?
Yes, yeah. So I made some salsa matcha that we're gonna be serving with the. It's breakfast tacos. It's a garlic kind of base, like you.
Smells good.
Yeah, you crisp up a bunch of garlic in there, and some other herbs, some oregano, some that one has pumpkin seeds in it, I think. So are you okay with pumpkin seeds?
Yeah,
it's not gonna murder
I am.
you, is it?
No, I'm good.
So good deal. That's good. But either way, yeah. So I'm doing a food truck now. So that my favorite thing in the world is to do is
Mm.
cook. Like that's what I love to do more than anything, and it has been for years. It's like food and music are my favorite things. And so I've like for a long time, Sarrenna was like, well, you're not going to be a chef because you're not going to like stay out all night and
It's tough
It's
hours.
brutal.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I have clients that are chefs, and they're just like, they are always tired. They
Yeah.
don't see their families. I was like, sweeter, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Surely, you
Restaurant
know.
lifestyle.
I'd be
But
just-
this is a
I'd just
super cool
do-
way to do it, and like, he'll be his own boss and get to do what he loves. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna mainly be doing breakfast, and then like on Saturdays and Fridays I'm gonna do fun evenings at places. So I'm gonna try to make it into somewhat of a. It'd be more like I was gonna say 9 to 5, but it's gonna be like get up at 5 in the morning, which I like early morning. So like probably get up at 5 and be done by 2 o'clock for the day, and which sounds really good to me. I like that idea. But
So all like Mexican taco kind of fare, even for breakfast. You got some
Yeah.
huevos rancheros going.
No, so it's gonna be very simple. It's breakfast tacos, which and my partner Michael Hernon, he's been running around Knoxville for years, but he's from Houston, and so I didn't even know. Like I just came to him about 6 months ago and said, "Hey man, I'm just looking for somebody to like if anybody wants to do food truck with me, I'd like to do it with maybe a partner or whatever." And he was excited about it because he was medical sales rep and he's got out of that. He just doesn't dig it, and he likes to cook as well. So he was like, yeah, I'll do that. I talked to him and one other buddy. He's a great cook. He's an architect though, and does have a career that he does like. So that's not going to do anything with him right now. But so Michael, I was just like, what do you want to do? And I love tacos, but taco trucks are kind of a dime a dozen, which is fine. And you got to find a niche in the taco truck. So
But everybody loves them, man. There's a huge market out there.
there's a
for
massive
'em.
market for it. So I mean, you really can't. You can do like stereotype. Like you could do the same tacos everybody else is doing, and probably still do pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
But like breakfast tacos was like something I'd never even had one before, and he said, dude, like in Texas, this is the thing is breakfast tacos.
Dude, I love going through Austin and just stopping at the only gas station you see for 40 miles.
Yeah.
And going in, and there is somebody's working the flat top back there with
Yeah.
the best tacos you've ever had.
It's fantastic.
No matter what time of day it is.
I say it's fantastic. I've just watched videos. I've never been there to try it, which is funny. We're supposed to, me and him, been talking about that. We want to go and just like do a little tour,
little study.
a little study.
work study.
I've got on there and found all kinds of blogs of the best tacos in Texas and stuff. And so that's what we're gonna do is that, and then we're gonna do like a just very traditional chorizo and egg taco, and then a bacon and egg taco, and then also we're gonna do a specialty taco all the time. So it'll be I really like birria tacos. Have you ever heard these? So birria tacos are a taco in you make it into like traditionally it was a stew, and like and I forget if it's Oaxaca. I don't know how to say the place in place in Mexico,
Yeah.
Oaxaca.
That's
But
it. I think that's
I
right.
believe that's where I read they're from, or maybe they're eating there a lot now traditionally, and people would, it's like a stew that you'd make for like a wedding, like a special event, like just like a fucking, it's just very,
What's it called?
Decadent. It's called birria.
Birria.
Birria. Birria.
Okay.
I think you're supposed
Gotcha.
to roll the R, but I'm real shitty at that. But
Have to get better.
yeah, terrible. So it's basically a red stew, and a lot of people slow cook it, but I do it in a pressure cooker to speed up the process, of course. And it's just a tomato based stew, and traditionally you either do goat or lamb, and I do beef though, a couple different cuts of beef in there too to get a couple different textures and different like fat profiles. And so you throw that in there, and then you separate the meat out afterwards, and you've got this red stew. And you put it in the fridge, you get the tallow off the top, you get the fat off the top, and put it in a different thing, and then you dip your tortilla shells when you're cooking it, you dip the tortilla shells in the fat, and this really kind of vibrant red fat that's beef fat, and you fry the taco shell, and it turns the yellowish or whitish tortilla shell into a very red looking tortilla shell, and you fry it with a bunch of cheese and the meat in there, and it turns into like the most decadent taco you've ever seen. And then you use it's a very recyclable dish. You use the actual stew as the dipping sauce, so which I think is really cool.
So you stew down the beef, you strain everything off,
Yeah.
make the taco out of the beef, use
Yeah.
that as the protein.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you use what's left over to fry the tortilla shells.
To
in?
fry the tortilla shells, and then also
then use it as a
the
dipping.
consomme you dip the it's great. Yeah, you use
amazing.
Yeah, and they're stupid good, and it's very much like an Instagram taco everybody talks about. And I didn't even know anything about these things until a couple months ago, and I just did a deep dive on them and just started making them basically all the time.
Is anybody else making them?
There is. So Last Days of Autumn does it on Tuesdays,
Okay.
and I need to go do it. I've known about it for a couple months now, and shout out to them because I've heard they're fucking awesome, and I love that place anyways. I've just never been there on a Tuesday, but so I'm gonna go there probably the next couple weeks just to see. But I mean, as far as I know, they're the only people that I know that do them at all in Knoxville, and it's a pretty big thing right now, and I'm sure more people are going to do them because I mean it's just very
it's an Instagram
thing.
Taco.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean it's great, you know it's great. I say that kind of begrudgingly, like
I know
this is like a shtick, but like that's fine, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Like and the whole point too of the taco truck is that I can change it. Like 3 months from now, I might be like fuck that taco, I'm done with it. I'm gonna move on to something else, and originally we were talking about calling it just the Big Bad Food Truck because like. I like to cook all kinds of things. I like the idea of like waking up one day and be like, we're not a taco truck today. We're like Smash Burgers or something, or whatever. Like
that is your Instagram though.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is.
The Big Bad Food Truck.
It's the Big Bad Food Truck. So it is.
So you hadn't quite let go of that dream just yet.
And I still, I say that. It's funny that my partner is he's an artist and he does really cool sketches and stuff. So he's gonna kind of we're gonna have like basically maybe I forget what you call it, like an easel thing or whatever, where he can draw like the name. What do you call it? I can't think of it. The logo. He's gonna be able to draw the logo like every couple months, and it's gonna ever be changing probably.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just something kind of fun.
Good.
And yeah, so I can change it. At the same time, it might be this ambiguous food truck. Kind of handle, but
great.
But when you go to it, it might say the Big Bad Taco Truck, or it might say the Big Bad, Burger Truck, or it might say whatever. Like it's very which I don't know if that's a good thing business wise, just ever changing, but at the same time, whatever.
Well, it sounds like if something doesn't work, you can easily pivot.
Exactly. Hey, I'm all about pivoting, buddy.
Keeping those
my life
options
is a big
open.
fucking pivot, man. Like, oh, this isn't working very well. Let's go ahead and jump ship real quick.
Well, that didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, computer science. No, and again, like computer science, like I do dig it, but like you said, it's a very introverted sport, and which would make me, I think, have something to give in that community of computer scientists that I could be the guy that talks to people. But like the communicator.
Probably just piss them off.
Yeah. Dude, that dude doesn't know what he's talking about, and he needs to shut the fuck up. But he thinks he's real smooth. But yeah, man. That's my life.
Did I see your name on some shows happening somewhere or no?
Like music shows?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're playing. I'm excited. We're playing September 10th.
Yes, sir.
Yes, September 10th.
That's 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. At the
Saturday or Sunday? Do you know?
Friday.
Friday. Okay.
Yes,
Maybe
that
we have the wrong
is
date.
No.
the Outpost. It's the first show that the Outpost is
That's
doing.
where I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped, man.
Yeah, we are too, man.
Oh, I listened to your guys' podcast that you did with Garrett and Kent, the Born and Raised podcast. I'm so glad those guys have got some footing and they're building a badass venue.
I heard it's awesome. Like just yesterday, somebody said that the building is just badass,
Really?
just like the look of it and stuff. So I'm
all the
super excited.
mock-ups looked awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, those dudes are awesome. Like, I'm so glad that they are getting that going too, because that's where we were the last show at the original Outpost. That was our CD release show, and like as they're breaking everything down after our show, because we decorated a little bit or whatever. I guess we just had a bazillion balloons or something, but like Kent got up there and like painted over the logo like after our show, and it was really cool to be there during all of that, but it was like also super sad. We're like, they need to do this. They did so great at it. So it's so awesome that series is starting up and they're going to have a permanent spot.
Yes.
It's really cool.
I'm not familiar with the precursor, with the Outpost.
Oh, yeah? It's the Oak Room?
The Oak Room? Do you know the Oak Room?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that.
so that's where it was. Yeah.
So they had
they had
a
music or a year or something like that.
I think it was just like 6 months, and Kent,
It was busy, too.
they let him use it while they were prepping their beer. The beer was brewing, I guess, and prepping that room, and yeah, so he ran a concert series out of there. It was awesome.
I think they told me about that.
Did they have a bunch of like kegs
There was
in there
barrels in there.
Barrels and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
They were actually brewing beer.
Yeah.
Is it abridged? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That place is really dope. I like
so
I like
awesome.
sours a lot, so that was cool going there. Oh,
I was talking about the Outpost.
Yeah.
Was it a good room?
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Where was the
honestly,
stage?
too,
Like,
the biggest thing that we realized about that was like, I think that's when maybe Pretentious was just getting started too. It was like, we don't have a medium-sized venue from the Barley's to the Bijou. That was our problem for a while. It was like, we're packing out Barley's, but we can't play the Bijou yet. We're just like kind of, there's a void there. A space needed to be filled. And like, it's really cool that Kent and Garrett are going to have that now, like
it's
a
gonna be
medium-sized
I think it's like a
venue.
300 room, so which is really nice.
That's perfect.
Because I think the guy I was talking to yesterday also said that I said, is that something like the Mill and Mine? He's like, no, Mill and Mine's like 1,100, I think.
Okay.
So like that, and so Mill and Mine would be too big for us too. Like, so it'll be nice, like 300, like that will be a nice, like that'll be a good room.
Is it indoor?
I believe so. Is it not?
I thought
Right
it was
now,
outdoor.
it's not.
Well, no, the concerts are. The concerts are outdoor for the series, but they're building an indoor. It's like the actual Outpost is not opening until 2022.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so this is like a thing to bring awareness or to bring money or both. I don't know,
Yeah.
probably both.
Show that proof of concept.
Yeah. So and I guess that's what like when what I've seen are all these mock-ups of pictures of what it's going to be like, but it's not necessarily like that now. But so I think they're. But yeah, I heard the building. That's just from somebody yesterday. Is beautiful and it's just
awesome.
a big space and just high. Either way, it's supposed to be really cool. But yeah, we're not playing that actually. We're playing outdoors. Right in the
Yeah.
parking lot of that place maybe.
Cool.
But either way.
Yeah, it seems like since like I don't know, Blue Cats left maybe, or even I guess what's the Valerium Cider House?
Yeah.
What's that whole deal? The small room there. I forget what it's called now.
Yeah.
That was kind of the only thing in between Pilot Light and Bijou.
Exactly.
And then you
Which
had
is
this, you had Square Room too for a while there, but that was kind
Yeah.
of a funky one. But that was kind of a 300 room.
Yeah.
And
did they program that room a lot or no? I mean, did people play there?
Yeah, they did. Like when we first got into like 10 years
They
ago,
had-
people were playing there a lot.
Yeah.
But it was, but not. I don't know. It was weird though. I don't know. Like
They did
like,
little concert series. They had a lot of, I think there's a church still affiliated with that.
Yeah.
So it was like a lot of Christian artists, I think, came through there and stuff. But yeah, I'm like, that Outpost show, yeah, we're super excited about.
I am too. I think there's how many shows are there? There's like 6 or something like
I
that.
think so, yeah.
Yeah. And are you guys the first one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof, I can't wait.
Yeah, for Aaron Lee Tashan, which I never were opening for, which I'd not heard of before, but like I listened to his stuff and it was cool seeing him. Like
good?
Yeah, it's really good. And one of the first things that popped up, it was like recently was Elton John interviewing about his album. I was like, well, this guy's doing well. Like
Talking to Sir Elton John.
all right.
Yeah, he's sitting there like he interviews him like over Skype or something like for iTunes. I was like,
cool.
okay, this guy's getting
Yeah.
he's got pretty good promotion behind his new album. So
Do you guys have new music you're going to play at that? Or are you going to play the last album and some of the EP and all that?
yeah, we'll play the last album mainly. We've been working on one new song. I've got probably 5 concepts of new songs right now, but the one that we fleshed out is we have one new song, and I think we're talking about it whether or not we're going to do it there first. But yeah, it'll be the which I was maybe going to play it if we play tonight. Maybe actually first time
you guys
playing in
want
front
to.
of anybody here. But
Cool.
but as a band would be there. But
Yeah.
but yeah.
We should do that. So I have to like this was a crazy thing for me because I listened to the Run the Jewels 4 album a whole lot in 2020, and second place on my Spotify end of year, like New Year, here's what you listen to.
Yeah. Those things are fun.
The Love We Made Together and Otherwise was second right behind that album. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
I must have spun the
awesome.
shit out of that
yeah.
thing
Left
because
it on repeat and went to bed
crazy.
at some point.
what?
I said you left it on repeat and went to bed at some
Adam-
point.
No. I listened to it a lot, man, beginning to end
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I listened to it tonight before you guys came over, and it took me back. It was like a whole year. You know, when you listen to something a lot,
Yeah, sure.
over like a period of time in your life, it takes you back there the second
Yeah,
you
yeah,
hear
yeah.
it. And that was my pandemic year album.
That's pretty cool, man.
That's
It was
fantastic.
cool.
That's
That was
awesome.
really cool.
Yeah.
That Run the Jewels album's dope.
Yeah, Adam said that because, like, you know how Spotify will do what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, here's all your favorites. He did leave a song on repeat by A$AP Ferg, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like,
good song, man.
it was like, your biggest song, Sarrenna. This is who you love. I was like, what? But you messed up my whole thing. Like, what?
You messed up the metrics.
It said you listened to this song 114 times on March 2nd or something. I was like, God.
Killing it. Yeah.
Yeah, mine was like Run the Jewels, your album, and then like podcast after that.
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
fuck,
That's
that
cool.
must have
Dude, that's awesome.
Spun the heck out of it. Yeah. So, are you gonna turn this song that you guys are working on now? Are you gonna make a new album with that in mind?
I think what we're gonna do, speaking maybe a little early, but I don't mind, is start releasing songs more like one or two at a time instead of doing full albums now. And I like this. I like the idea of that because I really get behind a song for a little while, then I kind of get done with it and I'm ready for another song. So once you have an album, you got 10 or 12 songs ready.
It was a process to do that
It's a
last
process
album. And it's beautiful. It turned out so lovely, but it was hard. It took a long time.
Yeah. But I like the idea of taking one song and just for a couple weeks, just focusing on that.
Getting it perfect.
Getting it perfect. And and just kind of, in this one, it's a little bit of a concept song, like not concept song, but like I like where it's going and I like the idea of it. And so we're talking about maybe what I want to do is I really loved what A$AP Rocky did last year with his song Babushka Boy, and just did a whole digital package with it. Did some artwork for it, did a dope ass video, and then just release it as a single. And that's kind of what I want to do is get Brandon Langler, get some friends that do artwork to do some really cool original artwork just for the song.
Yeah.
I've been talking to him about doing a music video for it, and which we've never done a music video still. We've done some things, but not an actual like music video or whatever. And he did one music thing for me that was really cool. No, y'all didn't do it with us. It was guys at.
It was blank. It was the Sofa Soiree that
that
Rusty
was
did.
Lock and Key guys.
Lock and
Yeah,
Key guys.
that's right.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Those guys
Yes.
are great. So
They're
they
awesome.
helped us do that. But really, Brandon did all of it, and he did all the filming of it, and they did all the editing. So they did do a lot of it because it was pretty crazy how they did that. We just sent them some shit, and they just made it work actually. So it's pretty brilliant on their part.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
it was good. Sofa Soiree. Was Second Bell virtual last year? Or did they just do this?
No, that was like what he did,
instead.
and then yeah.
Gotcha. Do an NFT, man. Put an NFT out with the album as part of the digital package. You know about that?
No.
The whole deal?
Just shaking my head. Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What's an NFT?
It's a lot. Lives on the blockchain. It's like a.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like a kind of a certificate of authenticity.
Yeah.
I
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
like people selling some weird ass shit on there.
Like digital toys.
Yeah. It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. Oh man, I'm trying to remember one of the ones that I heard about recently. That's just so fucking weird that people are. Yeah, they're just selling. Well, this like digital property, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in essence.
Yeah, pretty much. This guy sold all of his digital art that he'd made for like 10 years or something like that. It went for auction at Sotheby's for like $54 million or something like that. And it's like you can put it all over the internet. It's not like nobody else can have it. It's not like hanging a print in your house and nobody else has it. Like everybody can copy and paste it, put it anywhere they want. He just has the OG, baby. Yeah, the OG, the thing.
That's so bizarre.
The ownership.
It's really weird.
It is weird.
It's a very wild concept.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm all about some of that shit. But about some cryptocurrencies. It's good time stuff. But I'm still just trying to understand all that shit. It's just
computer science guy, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm not very good at it. I already told you. It's very. Some of these concepts are fucking blowing my mind. But
Sarrenna, so you like when. You like when he sings because the eyeballs are over there. You like singing the harmonies and making it sound good in like a backup.
Yeah, well, and also like in the songwriting process and everything, like usually I don't come in trying to figure out harmonies until like the song is really well settled into how it's going to be. So he's like been working with the band like on these new songs, and I'm just now kind of coming out on the back end trying to figure out, because we'll end up with like, I don't know, the song structure or the chords, whatever. And then Adam's writing the song kind of slowly as he goes. So I can't really sing harmonies yet because he doesn't know the words yet,
Gotcha.
you know? But so anyway,
He doesn't know the
I love
melody
singing
yet.
harmonies.
Yeah.
It's definitely my favorite. I mean, I like leading a song or two here and there, but
That's what surprised me to hear you say that, because your voice doesn't like sink into the background to me. It's very present. It's very out there and strong, and I love it. I think it's
thanks.
one of the best voices I've heard. Your speaking voice is awesome too. It's even better when you're singing.
Thanks. Yeah, I love it. I mean, yeah, I think it just goes back to that stage fright junk, man. Like I like Zach Gillerin being our drummer forever on Grow Older, the main song on the new album that I lead. I would always just get like so flustered when that
Really?
And the intro to that song, if you've seen us live, we drag it way out and just like they fiddle around and I'm just like
Just more
so stressed.
More time for
because
you
they're
to get
just all
nervous.
kind of like plucking around and being dumb. It's like
Causing
it's
her
supposed
anxiety.
to. It really does. And so like I'm always just like eyeballs on Zach, like count me in. I don't know what you're doing. Like I am so stressed out every time. And there's been many a time, like I lead a Waylon Jennings song too, that I come in at the wrong time. I can keep time. I play guitar. I can keep rhythm. But when everybody's looking at me, I'm coming in the middle instead of it's just ridiculous.
I've never heard you mess up.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Good. Yeah.
And I couldn't see a Guy Marshall like without your voice in there. It's such a big part. It's really spot on when I hear it, because I don't expect it when you come in.
Yeah.
Pumped to hear like some heartfelt stuff. There's a lot of people out there who are just okay at singing, but you're like
Thank you.
next level, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. I love singing harmonies. A lot of times too, Adam assumes that he's like, why don't you take a verse? And I'm like, no, I just want to sing behind you. And it makes it fuller. I love harmonies.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Like, and sometimes when I've done that, I just feel like it's so lackluster. I'm like, I could sing the lead on this verse, but it's so much prettier when I'm with you singing together, you know? It is tough though too, like to not sing all the time, because harmonies kind of can lose, you know, the appeal if you're singing constantly. Like West Virginia and Hard Times are both songs that I sing every word with him. But
So it's unison kind of.
yeah, well, I mean, I'm like, yeah, like harmonies, the whole song though. Like
harmonies, the whole song.
because like there's plenty where I'm just like, okay, I'll sing 2 lines and then back off and let you sing that part higher alone, whatever. But yeah, I love singing harmonies, and he like, actually this year we played a wedding back in May, and we practiced so many covers for this wedding, and I was gonna lead like 10 songs, and I was so pumped, and I over practiced, and I lost my voice, and I couldn't sing at the wedding at all. It was so sad.
Yeah,
I was
she
like,
went,
what kind of weird
completely,
like backward
messed
shit
it
is
up.
that? Like it was so frustrating. Yeah.
I was finally pumped to be to
I was
lead
like,
10
I can
songs.
do this, because we hadn't sang out at all too. It was like the first thing. I was so excited, and that may be why I lost my voice too, because we hadn't sang all last year all that much
Out of
performing
practice.
wise. I lost my voice completely. I was like, I should just sing harmonies. But yeah, I'm super pumped about these. So we're doing the Outpost one, and then we got, actually a week later, we're doing the Songs by the Brook series in Maryville.
Okay.
That one I'm super pumped about, and the guy who puts that together is like kind of responsible for, I feel like, pushing us into figuring out what we were doing post pandemic as a band. Because like we didn't know if we were going to get back together and play again and stuff, and
So,
like
is it a promoter?
I forget what his last name is. His name's Phil. He's very sweet,
He's
man.
forcing you guys back together?
He was like so on my ass, like texting me. He texted me all last year, and he texted like many times, just checking
we don't
in.
know if we're gonna keep playing music or not.
Yeah,
Man,
and
we
he
calm
he
down,
was
bro.
hitting me up in January,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Do you think you can
Very
play
sweet.
in September?" I was like, "I don't know anything about what life looks like in September, dude." I mean, he was nice, but I was just like, "Oh my gosh, this guy." But he's so sweet, and I've just been so thankful that he had been so patient. He was just excited to get his music series going again, you know? And so, like, we we, touch base with the band and be like, how are we all feeling? Because it was still pretty bad in January or whatever. Like, it was locked
you
down.
Got, what, 4 or 5 people in the band?
Yeah, 5 besides the 2 of us.
Yeah,
and
so you got to make sure everybody's got to be on the same page for doing stuff, or you're
and it
done.
did shift around. Yeah. We've kind of changed players a little bit, but that guy pushed us. So like, thank you, Phil. Yeah, we started practicing
for real. We all owe Phil a big high five for keeping you guys in the saddle.
I think a lot of bands during COVID are just like, do we want to continue to do this afterwards? Because it just ruined the fucking.
It was so defeating.
It ruined the whole like scene. It's just like it just fucked everything up. Obviously for a lot of people, but like especially entertainers and like and waiters too. Just that whole kind of crew, but fuck stuff up. And part of us were just like, do we want to continue doing this? And I was already on the edge of music just because, like we were saying before, I've been doing school and but again, it's been a lot of fun playing with these guys, and starting it back up was a good idea. So, man, mad props to Phil for nudging you guys. Yeah, we'll tell him that when we see him. What's the what'd you call it? Songs by the Brook. It's Thursday, September 16th. Dude's got good taste in music too. He sets up some good bands. Really? It's in Maryville. Is it at that spot on Main Street, like behind it, where the little creek is? I cannot tell you. I think it's at Springbrook Park. I'm not sure. Okay. I thought that was what I was told, but that's all on. Like, the best way to know about our shows and stuff is definitely Facebook. Okay. But I need to get that Instagram going again. I got to. Been off of there for a while. Yeah. All full band shows. You guys don't do just you two, right? Actually, we did today. We were playing a monthly gig up at Ogle's Brother General Store. Oh, cool. Next to the Cruise Farm, across from the Tanger Outlets. Yeah. Bailey Rush was putting together, like, doing music there every weekend, and that was actually really an awesome thing for me and Adam to start doing. I guess we started in like April, I think. Yeah, she's hired us a bunch too. And she's had us up there playing a lot, and it was like it's like 3-4 hour gigs, but playing to kind of people that are playing cornhole and stuff and eating ice cream. So it was like really chill. Yeah. It was so good. Yeah, like it was an opportunity for us to practice I'll try new songs,
and just have fun.
Just make up songs, just fuck around. Like really, like I'll be like, oh, that came up with this chord progression story. Let me just like sing some gibberish over it for like 30 minutes. And like, it's kind of fun.
It's fun.
It's almost like busking, a bit like busking. Yeah. Put like a tip jar out there, but she pays us really well. But like, at the same time, it's just like. Yeah, so we did that today even. So like, but I mean, which was kind of a bitch. Sunday morning. So hot. So hot, and we got fucked up too last night. So it's just like. It was a hard day. We went to XYZ and just like did that until midnight or 1, and then got up at like 8 to do that. We're just terrible. Sweating it out. It's terrible. Yeah. Feels like 98. Yeah. We ate some ice cream that hurt our stomach. That did not make it. It never makes anything better. Ice cream. I love ice cream, but they got a cruise. Yeah, and
it's so hilarious. Though.
We're playing music like 5 feet away from their door. We're like there's this like little part. A little thing in between. Either way, a little thing in between that's like the general store, and then you walk across this like covered area. Like a breezeway. Yeah, like a breezeway to Cruise Farms. Gotcha. And so
we play in the breezeway. I'm
a big fan of Cruise Farms and ice cream in general. Me too. So
when it's super hot though, like we play in the breezeway, and so like people don't want to be out in the sun, and they just walk like right over all of our stuff, and we're just like, okay.
They don't even acknowledge that we're playing music half the time. It's really funny. It's very awkward. Just like, look at each other. Like,
that's why it's like busking.
Yeah. People just people don't want you there, but you're being paid to be there. It's really funny. I was like, sorry, bro.
Well, the people going to get ice cream anyway. Yeah, it's hilarious though.
They're all about that creamy ice. They're not that ice cream.
Cruise doesn't open till noon on Sundays, and it wrecks people's day from 10 to noon.
It's really fun to see.
We watch people get so upset. They go to open the door
at like 10 in the morning. And we're there, and they're just like, would they open at noon?
Yeah, and they're always like.
So we're there 2 hours. We're there 2 hours before they're open, and people are just so fucking mad at
people in their church clothes.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and just having a fucking crisis, and you're just like, this is great. This is fucking. They're not getting that chunky chocolate over there or whatever.
What do they put in that stuff that makes people come like
so
they
good.
do?
Yeah, it's so good. I don't know. It's incredible. It's incredible stuff, dude.
How many of those shows have you played up there?
Oh, like 15 or something.
Really? Yeah, like at least twice a month since April.
I mean, I played 3 times in the last week. I played yesterday, today, and last Sunday. Which that's kind of crazy, but she's been giving me like 3 shows a month, usually 3, and then sometimes I've done like 4 or 5
but
shows.
they're halting. This was the last one.
Yeah.
Like Daniel Fluitt was doing it too, the Thrift Store Cowboys, and I'm not sure who else, but Bailey wants to have music up there, so they'll restart it again. Bailey Rush.
Bailey Rush.
Yeah, she was promoting shows years ago.
She worked with the Black Cadillacs a lot, and she's big into music.
Yeah, she worked with us 7 years ago, 8 years ago when we were really kind of taking off. She was kind of a manager-ish, kind of like she just was helping, like basically just like helping us for free. I think. She's being very sweet and just like very behind music that she digs and would just help somebody that
I've heard her name from somebody.
She's awesome. She's a great girl, and she moved to Atlanta, I think, for a while and was doing like makeup for the stars or something, doing like makeup for TV and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun.
And then she came back and she called us and we hadn't talked to her in years, and she was like, "Hey, you want to come up here and play music for?" Like I said, she plays this really well too, and it's very funny because I just haven't. Being in school, it's been nice for me to make extra, a couple thousand a month, just playing music to weird people that want ice cream that can't get it.
Today I had a conversation with a woman about how she is like a fudge hunter. She like looks for.
Don't Google it.
This Kentucky.
Hell yeah.
She like she was like I like to look for real weird flavors, and I found the weirdest one was Georgia Peach Fudge. I was like, Peach Fudge sounds like a punk band or something. What? She was like, Peach Fudge. It is delicious. I was like, all right.
Yeah, dude, a fudge hunter.
Some interesting people.
It was really funny.
There.
I was in the bathroom. Using the bathroom and I had my phone on and I was gonna watch this trailer. My brother sent me a trailer today of a new movie.
Comedy.
It looks really funny. It's a comedy with John Cena, which that dude's just funny as fuck. But and he's and it's attached to the Bluetooth, and I didn't know it. And Sarrenna's sitting there talking to this lady about fudge.
We play music through the speaker, whatever.
Yeah, so a little bullet kind of speaker thing and a little Bluetooth speaker, and I turn it on and it's attached to that thing, and she's on the preview. It's like a rated R preview that has all the cursing and shit in it, and it says, "You fucking bitch,"
came out of the speaker.
Sarrenna's sitting there talking to this lady about fucking peach fudge, and this just like starts yelling, profanities. Yeah, on Sunday when, So either way, good times. She was very mad when I came out of the bathroom. She's like, "Dude, what the fuck, man?" I'm just like, "I don't know, man. I didn't mean for that to happen."
I have a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
Who was telling me a story one time about being at a party and using his Bluetooth speaker as the entertainment for the party. It was at his house, and I think he drank a little too much, and he ended up going upstairs. And went upstairs and decided to watch a couple of adult films.
Yeah, I know where this is going. I know the story.
Yeah, and like everybody that was at the party said they could just kind of like faintly hear some weird like noises, and then he turned it up because he was upstairs and couldn't hear it on his phone.
That's awful.
In the middle of the party downstairs at his own house.
It's my kind of party. And everybody just sat there and listened for a while with the guy. That's fucking hilarious, dude.
It's
That's
good.
Really funny.
I was crying when he told me.
That's
about
when she said that, and even though I knew I was watching a trailer, I was like, was there like some shit on the back of my phone that came on or something? Like when you said, "Do you know what fucking came on when you were in there?" I was thinking, fucking porn, maybe. But I was just like,
I was going to the bathroom. It was probably porn.
Yeah, just sitting there, just jerking off in the bathroom, in a public bathroom. That's a little beyond me, but that's my more like my 15-year-old self.
What else we got? Do you guys have anything else coming up besides the
lawn chair series we're doing?
Yes, the lawn chair series. Yeah.
Not Maribel, I'm sorry.
Farragut.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So we're doing that. We love those gals.
That's October 2nd.
Okay.
We played that 4 years or something. We played it every year.
Yeah, this
is
is
the
at
fourth
least
year?
5.
Or is it
No,
5?
this is at least 5.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So it's been going for a minute.
It's been going for a
we
long
played
time.
the first one, and
Yeah.
they were so they're the best. I love Amy and Shandy, and they they caught us on a great day because they were like, we don't have a big budget the first year. And I was like, well, this sounds cool, like a family-friendly park thing.
And
like,
Farragut,
okay.
we never get to play there.
I was about to say, it's just an
it was
untapped
like
thing for us.
different. And actually, we were playing bars more than now. We love doing the park shows and daytime.
Yeah.
I don't want to be up until 3, closing down. Pres Pub or whatever. But yeah, so they put together an incredible event. It's so huge now too.
It's great.
So yeah, we're excited
Yeah,
about that.
I think I'm supposed to have the food truck there.
Yeah.
Cross my fingers for, I don't know, September 17th maybe.
Yeah, I believe so.
So you're not going to be. It'll be a different date. So you're not working.
I wanted to do both because I just thought it would be really
That would be
funny,
insane.
like with my partner. But like just to kind of, whatever. Usually you go to those things and you get, they do a really cool job. They have like, at least they used to bring an RV in for a green room, and you just get, and they provide you all this beer and shit. So you just like kind of getting fucked up in the RV, and so it'd be kind of funny for me to like, you're just kind of a shithead as an artist. At most places you get to be a shithead, and it's a good time. Like you just you sit in a room and they just like feed you alcohol before you play music or whatever. But it'd be funny to me in a weird way to just like torture myself and sweat my ass off and cook food before I play music. It
would be so bad.
It'd be a badge of honor for me, kind of.
Dude,
Kind of one of those just like dirty dog things. Kind of like playing music this morning and after I was hungover. It's just very much I'm all about the badges, of doing terrible things.
Sometimes a little bit of torture gets you.
Yeah,
stuff
man, I'm
out
all
there.
about I
think it'd be hilarious if you were up there playing and quit playing and ran as fast as you could to the food truck.
Yeah.
And the guy that was on the front row came to get a taco and was like,
delivered it to him.
"Is that?" I swear to God, you look just like the guy who was playing up there just a minute.
Exactly,
you look
dude.
just like. I mean, the hat and everything.
Yeah. That would be exactly. That's It could be either or. It's like I could have served my taco to that. Yeah, exactly. Served that taco to that guy. 20 minutes before, and now I'm singing music. People are just like, why are you doing this? What's your problem? Yeah.
It's a hustle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anything else?
Is
that it?
Those are the only ones.
But that's a busy month.
It all happened really quick, and we do have one, and I kind of just wonder about indoor shows, what's going to happen like for those, but we have one scheduled for Barley's, which we love Barley's. They were like the people that Kyle there, like that's the first time we like made decent money in Knoxville and stuff. Like I always want to promote Barley's. They're fucking great to musicians.
I love Barley's.
Yeah,
so they're great to musicians.
You can't hate them.
No, they're great, and again, Kyle is one of the coolest dudes ever. So dude looks like a lion, but he has a show, and we're supposed to be opening for Riley Downing. He plays with guys Sam Doors and the
Deslond,
which is one of our favorite bands of the last like 10 years, and they used to travel through here a lot with what's that gal's name that did get big?
Hooray for the Riff Raff.
Hooray for the Riff Raff. They're part of that group, and also Spirit Family Reunion. Kind of this whole group that would travel through Knoxville all the time, but most of them were from like New Orleans and New York and stuff. They're from all over the place. But either way, we've loved this guy's music for years, and he's playing. And I just texted Kyle. I said, hey, I want to play music, but I don't want to like be a headliner right now. That's not what I want to do. I want to fucking
trying to work some stuff
out. I want
out.
to be a supporting act.
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and
so we hope that show gets to happen, but we're just unsure, I guess. What?
Yeah, and that's October 10th, I think.
I believe so.
So again, it's all like bunched up right there.
Yeah, and there's some uncertainty.
Yeah.
Afoot.
Yeah, and then also we're supposed to play Halloween night. So at the World's Fair Park, and I don't know if that's happening or not.
That one hasn't even. Yeah,
I don't know. Is that a headliner thing or no?
I don't know. We
We're
don't
not
even know.
They haven't given details, and that's why we're like, is this gonna happen?
Yeah.
I mean, I hope for their sake
Yeah.
it gets to. It's outdoor, so maybe, but it's just too soon to tell. Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, they're probably like everybody else, just trying to figure out what's going to happen.
Exactly.
And then decide whether or not to do it.
It's kind of funky, but I think the Aaron one's gonna happen. So the Aaron Lee Tasker
Definitely gonna play the Outpost.
Yeah, and I think the one out of Maryville, I think they're definitely gonna do that, and I think the Farragut one's gonna happen too. So
I'm gonna be at the Outpost for sure.
Dig it.
I'm pumped, man. It's exciting.
It'll be fun.
I'm so glad to talk to you guys. Thank you for coming over.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah,
This is
thanks for
Super
having us.
cool. Take care, and we'll catch up.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
sounds good.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeehaw. So this is the first time we've played this song, so that'll be a good time. Is that cool, Ben, that I introduced into the song and I talked to you out of camera and everything? I like people to feel as if they're here with us, sitting in a garage by myself.
told me don't ever play with guns. I'm sorry, Mama, I've done used another one. I shot her down like 1,000 times before, but this time she lies bleeding on my floor. I don't follow stars to find my way home. I don't pray to God just to hear that I'm wrong. I live as if nothing I love will last for long. In the end, we had a ball. My mama told me not to put faith in things down here. My God's a woman, and I know, Mama, this ain't a good idea. I think for myself now, and my actions I take as my own. But sometimes even mamas can be wrong. I don't follow stars to find my way home. I don't pray to God just to hear that I'm wrong. I live as if nothing I love will last for long. In the end, we had a ball. Thank you. Dig it. First time anybody's ever heard that song.
Man, that was really pretty.
Yeah.
We
did it right, too.
We did it right. he wrote the last two lines, the last
Before I
two
came
lines,
here
right before we got here.
Like, fuck, I gotta figure something out real quick.
It's just been kind of.
Yeah. That's how my songs go. It's just like, even like a lot of the songs in the
We perform
in
them
the
a
studios we'll perform, but I'll write. I like to sing lyrics and make them up as I go. Like at a lot of shows, I'll literally just be making shit up. And so, but like when we go to the studio, it's just like, oh fuck, like I have to like make something up and like keep it, you know. So like there's several songs on that last album that like, like I wrote a whole verse like right before I'd sing, I was like, oh fuck, I need another verse, and I'd just write something down real quick. And it's like, oh fuck, maybe this will work.
That's why you get
Yeah, exactly, dude. I always tell Sarrenna, like, I can't remember anything, so, like, that's why I can make up my own melodies, because, like, I can't remember anybody else's melodies. I can't remember my own fucking melodies. Like, but so it's like, oh, you're pretty good at melodies. It's like, yeah, because I can't remember anything. Like, because my brain's fucked up, bro. It's broke. Cool, right on.
You gonna try to do West Virginia? Right on.
Right on. Right on, right on.
Okay.
Oh, man. All right. Yeah. So this one we've been playing for a long time. I wrote this one. We had carpet in our house.
Such a random thing to say.
I just remember writing it and just like looking at carpet is all I remember at this point. And, yeah.
That's weird. So we had carpet.
Yeah, it was like at least 6 years ago.
Okay.
And our sinuses were probably terrible. Did we just start right into this one? Yeah. This is West Virginia. This is on our last album. Left old West Virginia, yes, I left it all behind. See, Daddy's been drinking whiskey since Mama, she had lied. I followed the bluebird knowing I would never I left old West Virginia just to leave it all behind. Now southward to the long state, yes, a long state I'd always heard. In the sound box in the living room, it's now resting in the dirt. There were songs of freedom, yes, and tales of all kinds. There were better than that whiskey, yeah, the whiskey and wine. To the Opry is where I wanna go, where a man can sing and free his soul. To the long state is where I wanna be, oh Lord, where the songs and the melodies teach me how to survive, how to get through life, how to not think twice. They all teach me how to survive, how to get through life, and how to not think twice. Now I'm stuck here in Kentucky, I've been stuck a good long while. The mountains grew me tall, oh, the mountains grew me wild. Then I found me a guitar, yes, I found a Bible too. I learned just what to say and to do what the Jesus do. To the Opry is where I wanna go, where a man can sing and free his soul. To the long state is where I wanna be, oh Lord, where them songs and the melodies teach me how to survive, how to get through life, how to not think twice. They all teach me how to survive, how to get through life, and how to not think twice. They all teach me how to survive, how to get through life, how to not think twice. They all teach me how to survive, how to get through life, and how to not think twice. Beautiful. Can I cry? Yeah, man, you could always cry. Does that sound good? Fuck yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hell yeah.
I love that song.
Cool.
Thank you. We good?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too cool?
Yeah,
Dig it?
great.
Dig it.
Yay.